It stays like this. I'm really glad I didn't call the channel Blue Sky Rider. So today I'm going to try and squeeze in between the rain and get a quick ride up some gravel, see a castle, go on a ferry, see lots of mud, get drenched. Yeah, I think that's what we've got planned for today. Busy this morning. Lots of people, lots of pedestrians. Don't usually see people. So before we get to the pretty stuff, I should catch you up on the news from the last week. Most of it concerning Gladys, the cliff climbing goat. That was an experience, let me tell you. She's absolutely fine. I just find it incredible that an animal can do that, fall off a cliff, for those of you who didn't see last week, and survive, thrive even. She's eating like a horse. Myself in the wrong gear. I'm not very good at this cycling lark. Normally you can see the length of the Berga Valley if you look in that direction, but instead halfway up was a wall of water, and unfortunately I think that's coming our way. I was hoping we'd get this little patch of blue instead, but so we're just starting the long climb out of Miravet. We're coming back to Miravet later. I can tell you all about the Knights Templar Castle there on our return, but we're going to go out on a road and come back through a mountain range on a road that I've never seen before. I'm not sure anyone's seen it before. It's quite remote. I don't know what state it's in. Again, the street view lets us down because it only goes so far and then stops. Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? Now, irritating me, I've just had a spoke break on me. I haven't had one for quite a while. Since I first bought the bike I had 5 go in very rapid succession, and I found out that it's nothing to do with me or my weight or how bumpy the road is. It's that the motor hub, you can't keep the tension on the spokes high enough for them to stay done up, so they become loose, and if you don't check them very regularly they become loose and they can break. So yeah, we're going to try and continue with one less spoke, which on a road ride I wouldn't really think twice about. It's got 32 spokes at the back, so one isn't catastrophic, it's not great, but the second half of this ride I've got no idea how rough it's going to be. But I suppose fortunately I'm never going to be that far away from a main road and a lift home, so let's keep our fingers crossed that we'll be able to complete the ride. So if you wonder what I do when a spoke breaks, well, I used to just cut it all off and go home, but now it always seems to break at the J bend end, so I try and untwist the spoke from the spoke nipple, which is normally possible even if you have to bend the spoke to give yourself a bit of leverage. And then once the spoke is off I just poke the nipple back into the rim, so it's as long as you're going it doesn't clatter at all, and then once ride is finished you can replace it in the normal way. Just getting to a very lovely spot. That's the Sierra de Cabais, which we've seen before and no doubt we'll see again. It's quite close to home. But while I've got you and while I'm on the hill, I just wanted to report on the range extender battery that I made. For those of you who are watching because you saw that video, well, it was an absolute downpour last week and it didn't miss a beat. I've been having quite a long conversation with some technical types who tell me that it doesn't work the way that I say it does. That's fine. I thought it worked in one way. There's still no proof conclusively one way or the other, but what I can say is it works, it's cheap, and and it's lovely reassurance. And if you want to go and do a crazy long ride, then it's there. Now I'm still experimenting with the various mounts that I've got. I messed it up again last week. I think that looks better. Hard to say. I get too much handlebar, not enough sky. But the other thing I'm trying is this external mic, which has got a bit of a wind baffle on it. So I'm hoping I can do at least a little bit of chatting as I go downhill, which would save my breath for the uphills. Here we go, into the unknown, with a broken spoke. It looks very bumpy up ahead, as in mountains. I'm afraid I am going to take it easy because of that spoke. So don't expect any wild heroics this week. Well, I'm sure you're not really expecting it. If you've seen any of my videos before, oh my, look at the mud. I never realised there were quite so many really great gravel tracks around. When I used to do a lot more walking with the dogs, there used to be so many dead ends because the tracks just lead to a farm, and that would be it. But with a bit more research, you can find that there were the old roads to get between A and B, and when they decided to use tarmac, they just chose a completely different route. So this, I believe, is the old Pinay to Miravet road with mud. Whoa, sticky. Slightly over my own roadworks. Oh, come on, don't be daft. Up here. Oh dear, look at that. Oh, no, look at that. Here we go. A little workout then. Whew, that looks nasty. Come on. Can't stand up because the rear wheel skids. Found this before. Well, everyone else. So I'm going to talk to you in between gasps. Oh my, look at that! It's bloody endless. Take my mind off it. Oh, I wasn't even in first. That's better. So this video should come out on Friday, which is in the middle of the Volta de Catalunya, Catalonia's own stage race, cycling stage race. And the following day, Saturday, is coming very close to the house, and it's covering all of the routes that I've already featured on this channel. They're going up La Musara, which is a classic ride with endless hairpins. I might need to stop talking to you. This is really hard. This is a tough one. Lots of quite short but very sharp climbs, all on loose gravel, so you can't stand. And I'm paying for that lack of a really gravelly granny ring, just as my front wheel is beginning to lift off the ground. The surface changed to concrete, and it's quite a relief. It's still stupidly steep. My Garmin is stuck, so it's not telling me what it is. It's certainly not the 4 or 5. I think it's nearer maybe 16 or so. Very, very, very tough. Just at the top of the next lumpy bit, I'm just having a break. Just letting my heart rate just settle a bit. It's really thumping. So the next one, at least it's concreted again, but by heck, Yes, if you're wondering, it's with the assist on full, but I suspect I'm not benefiting from the several weeks off my diet regime that I've had owing to 2 birthdays, including my own, and the full Six Nations rugby tournament. Oh wow, which, as any rugby fan will know, it's actually a legal obligation to drink Guinness throughout the tournament. It's also raining properly now, so I'm a bit fearful for the camera. But at least they'll be okay because we're getting near the top. Looks like about 400 meters, something like that. Hopefully there should be a stunning view from up there. So let's go and have a look. Oh, that looks steep. Wow, that is steep. Wow, wow, wow. That is spectacular. Hope you're getting this. We don't meet anyone. Crazy steep. I'm going to brake. Unknown road. Oh, that's already go on this bit. Concrete. The needle and we're down. Now a decision. I think the official way is left, but I think we're going to go right. Getting very pretty. Groovy hairpin. Wow. I think this is right. And this, I think, is the GR99. And this could be our first view of Miravet Castle from below. Did I mention there was a weasel in the road a minute ago? No, can't see it yet. Oh, more of a footpath really. I'll show you the river though. There it is. And now we're on the... Oh, blimey, look at that. Oh, hello. Oh, no motorbikes. Ah. I suppose, strictly speaking, I have a motorbike. Won't feel like it going up this lot though. Whoa, blimey. Very sharp looking gravel. Oh, we lost one spoke. Don't want a puncture as well, thank you. Oh, look at this, nasty. Nasty, nasty, jagged. And up above is the castle, just as it starts to rain again. Let's see what the sign says. I might do better just carrying the bike up the next bit. It says 200 metres to the castle. Well, you can see it's half a mile. Nonsense. I'm not going up there. It's going to be too hard carrying. I'm going to stick with the supposed cycle path. Must be running out of battery soon. Oh, hopefully it will before I fall off this horrible stuff. Let's get back in the... Oh, can't get back in my pedals. Oi. Oh, there we go. Oh, better. This is mountain bike stuff, isn't it? Someone who knows the difference. Is this gravelly or is this mountainy? Leave a message in the comments. Oh, wow. Oh, close to what I'm capable of, that's for sure. That's better. If I fall, I'm going straight in the river, which is right below me. Now we're directly below the castle. You can't see it, but it is literally at the top of that cliff. And on the cliff are all these opuntia, or prickly pear cacti. The reason why it's there is because they used to throw the sewage over the cliff. We've got cacti on both sides. Let's hope it's not on the trail as well. Ah, steps. I can't ride up steps. Never learnt that skill. No. The most irritating thing about this climb is going to be listening to the spoke nipple rattling around in the rear rim. There's the river. These steps led down to... I should talk to you really, shouldn't I? More polite. The steps lead down to a mill, which was made by the original makers of this citadel, who were the Moors. Well, you could say it was the Iberians, because it was an Iberian settlement, who were very much favoured promontories out overlooking the river, because they were traders who used the river. But the Moors took it and fortified it, made it into a citadel, and it was one of the last two Moorish fortresses to hold out against the reconquistadors. But sort of inevitably it was our old mate Ramon Berenguer IV who took it finally in 1153, and he gifted it to the Knights Templars, who were incredibly influential at the time. He would have done it for favour because they were so incredibly wealthy, and support if he ever needed it. And they instantly started fortifying it, and it became the blueprint, if you like, for the Knights Templars fortresses around the globe. And just going a little breather because it's pretty. right at the very top of that building. Don't know if you can see there's a little plaque. So on the 8th of October 1787, that was the level of the river. Now, it probably won't even be able to get it in view. It is. I won't cut this shot. I'll just get back on. So bearing in mind that was the top of a 4-storey building, 3-storey building. The river is all the way down there. So this building would have been completely underwater. And in the summer, this is a lovely place to come for a coffee, a cake. There's a few little cafes around this platha. And it's also where they hold the market every week. So let's see if the ferryman is in. He's there. We'll do it for a... Hola. Solo para mí es bien o no? Solo para mí es bien o no?
Sí, bueno,
más coches, sí.
No, porque tiene que venir una profesora,
ok.
maestra del colegio.
Vale.
Siempre viene ahora.
Okay. He's waiting for the school teacher to come because she comes back across every day. You get these large cars on essentially two barges, and all that happens is the force of the water pushes the front of the boat sideways. It's attached to just a wire where you get pushed across the river. And when the river's flowing quite nicely like this, it doesn't take any time at all. Okay. Gracias. Pretty impressive, isn't it? Without any power at all. Lovely view of the castle as well. I'll just really quickly show you. There it is. Gracias. Hello. Well, after the ferry, we hit the main road, the C12. It's a day of adventure. We can't stay on the C12, not when there's an undiscovered side road to try. So we're trying it. Pear trees in blossom. Just coming into the little town of Ginestar, which when we first came out to Spain, probably, I don't know, 18 years ago, it was mired in controversy because the then mayor was essentially taking bribes for planning permission, which he had no authority to give. But Brits would turn up, say, yeah, I found this little hovel in the middle of nowhere, can I have permissions to restore it into a 16-bedroom mansion? He'd say, yeah, of course, the fees are, and he would take the money. He ended up in prison. Oh, it must be these are lilacs, surely. Oh, they are, the smell, oh wow. Oh, I need to bring my mum and dad here. Look at that. Oh, I don't know now. I think they might be paulownias. I'm going to stop, see if I can get some seeds. Hold on. Yeah, I think it is paulownias because the flowers, which are huge, look like foxgloves. I'm just going to check if there's any seeds left in these pods. They look like they've all broken open and dumped them. see. It's not exactly a cycling video. It's incredible scent. Incredible scent. They're also one of the fastest growing hardwoods for firewood itself. Absolutely amazing stuff. And the leaves are absolutely vast as well, so they make fantastic shade trees. So one of the best trees all round for gardens around here. Strong smell of wacky from that cafe. I've been gloating a little bit, haven't I, about the weather here. But having now done 2 whole rides in the rain, you guys who keep doing it day in, day out for commuting, or even for pleasure rides at weekends, really kudos, because as a one-off it's lovely, but even on my second ride it gets a bit miserable, doesn't it? So how you do it day in, day out is absolutely beyond me. But like I say, kudos to you, and hopefully next week I can lift your hearts a little with some sunshine. Let's hope so. Anyway, until then,